Hi, my name is Juan Medina, and today I'm going to be talking about the topic of privacy in the workplace.
When you're at work on a computer, you might think that what you're doing is actually private. Well, you might want to think again. There's a pretty good chance your boss is eavesdropping on everything you do. Channel 4's Gordon Tokamatsu is here now with some sobering information on privacy lost in the workplace. Gordon?
Well, Colleen, if you use a computer at work, if you send or receive emails, don't count on anything being private. There's a greater chance than ever before that your boss is monitoring everything you do. You won't believe how easy it has become. Privacy, something most of us cherish, of course, but in this world where the computer is king, is privacy in the workplace becoming a thing of the past?
I'm sure the capability's out there, but I don't think that it's a daily routine practice.
A recent NBC4 poll shows most workers don't think their bosses are paying much attention to office web surfing and email.
I think maybe we're too big to maybe even have that type of snooping going on.
Maybe, but that doesn't mean your employer agrees. In fact, bosses are not only considering it, they're doing it. Nick Roxborough is an attorney who specializes in workplace rights.
People can call in from home, log onto the network, get onto your computer, and in the backyard read all your personal mail, and you'd never know it.
Not to say that on-the-job eavesdropping is happening to every employee every minute, but new technology has made it so easy to snoop that even the most careful worker could feel like someone is watching. Let's say you sit down at your computer at work and decide to go surfing on the internet. You visit several sites and download several images, including this gun. You log off, go home, and think that's the end of it, right? Well, your boss shows up and loads something called Spectre. He's literally able to check every single site you visited, every image, every keystroke, to find out where you've been. Could that gun image get you fired? Maybe. Last year, the American Management Association did a survey of employers. 45% of them said they now monitor employee phone calls, computer files, and emails. Hundreds of workers have been fired because of this at major companies like Xerox, Boeing, the New York Times. A spokeswoman from Xerox was the only one who responded to our calls. Her statement, "We have made it clear to all our employees that Xerox reserves the right to monitor all internet and email activities."
But I think it's really important that employees know, and just people know generally, the days of privacy aren't there.
Some new laws are in the works to protect your privacy on the job, but until things are better defined, you should never take your privacy for granted, including some of those harmless email messages that you may think simply disappear. Paul Cully.
The increased use of technology in the workplace has created new concerns for both employers and employees in the area of privacy. Even though the use of email and internet has immensely reduced operating costs for most companies, it had also introduced a new aspect to workplace privacy issues regarding technology surveillance. As noted on the table, most different areas of monitoring can include internet connection and email messaging. Overall, 77.7% of management stated that they engage in some form of employee surveillance or electronic monitoring. Thus, monitoring of employees' use of company technology crossed the line regarding personal privacy. Both employers and employees are concerned with ethical implications of constant monitoring. While employers use monitoring devices to keep track of employees and their actions and productivity, the employees feel too much monitoring is an invasion of privacy. Employees are concerned with proper employee behavior and code of conduct compliance in relation to their industry and related organization, while more and more employers are using monitoring devices to check or keep track of their employees' actions. Some of the reasons why business monitor employees are because of loss of employee productivity, where 30 to 40% of web surfing by an employee is not work-related. Internet surfing, also known as cyberloafing for not job-related activities, is also very costly, costing between $450 to $500 billion a year for these companies. Other reasons for employee monitoring is inappropriate internet usage. Some examples include cyberstalking, illegal download of software, and pirated music or movies, viewing mass mailing offensive and inappropriate content, online chatting, and social networking. Also, information security issues include intentional or leaks of confidential and sensitive information, such as patents, consumer information, and intellectual property. There is also the reasons of industrial espionage, misuse of company resources, emails with viruses infected, attachments, and employees pretending to work while using the internet. What is the impact of monitoring? First, it can create tons of suspicion and hostility in the work environment, creating tension and decreased productivity. Although monitoring can deter cyberloathing, at the same time, it can counterproductive by causing resentment of employees because of being treated like children. In some cases, employees defend cyberloathing because they feel using the internet is a form of relaxation. Some of the privacy protection laws include the Fourth Amendment that states that citizens are protected from unreasonable search and seizures. However, this applies only to government actions, not actions of private employers. The Electronic Communications Privacy Act also includes all forms of digital communication, including private email. The, the ECPA generally prohibits unauthorized and intentional intersection or accessing of wired or electronic communications during the transmission, but the employers can bypass this first by using the service provider exception, which occurs when the employer is the access provider of services and is considered an agent of the ISP that provides the service. The second exception is the consent exception, under which the employer is only required the implied or express consent of the employee to void the ECPA violation. If an employee has knowledge of the employee policy and he or she continues to use the system, they are not protected by the ECPA. In general, the balance of power and power in the electronic surveillance weighs in the side of the employers. So, what can companies do to decrease hostility and respect privacy but ensure efficiencies and company security? First step is to clearly state and distribute policies regarding proper technology used in the workplace. Specific notifications of what type of monitoring use, how frequently the monitoring will occur, and what the purpose of the employer hopes to accomplish will alleviate the anxiety and suspicion amongst employees. Employees can also consider minimizing the amount of monitoring. Some studies have shown that excessive monitoring can lead to tension, anxiety, depression, and fatigue in employees. Instead of increasing employee efficiency and improving performance, it actually negatively affects employees' morale. Hand in hand with minimizing surveillance can be the implementation of filtering websites by blocking certain sites that are more likely not affiliated with the business related topics. In conclusion, ethically speaking, if monitoring deters misbehavior and produces better results for the employee, the owner, the customers, and other relevant stakeholders, then it can be ethical. Incorporating the appropriate notification of policies and procedures can minimize the negative impact on employee experience due to the monitoring and thus reducing the privacy expectations in the work environment. You always have to find the balance between corporate security and the personal privacy of your employees.